Ever felt the sting of humiliation and thought, how delightful would it be to return the favor? Ah, the sweet taste of revenge served cold on a silver platter. But first, let's take a quick dip into the murky waters of humiliation. A rather unpleasant experience, isn't it? Kind of like stepping on a Lego barefoot or biting into a juicy apple only to find a worm. It tugs at your self-esteem, leaving you feeling as deflated as a punctured balloon. Now imagine this. You're not the balloon, but the sharp, shiny needle. Tempting, isn't it? But let's not get carried away. We're not promoting pettiness here, but a more refined, sophisticated form of comeuppance. One that requires wit, timing, and a dash of mischief. So how does one transform these burning desires into a masterful retaliation? Stay tuned, my friends. Now, before you can craft your witty comeback, you must first identify the culprit. Who is this dastardly character attempting to tarnish your reputation? Well, let's examine the usual suspects, shall we? First, we have the classic bully. This one's as subtle as a sledgehammer. They use humiliation as their weapon of choice, aiming to make themselves look bigger by making you look smaller. Then, there's the Sly Fox. This one is a bit trickier. They mask their insults with a veneer of civility, often leaving you wondering if you've just been complimented or insulted. Next up, the Showoff. This one uses every opportunity to outshine you, often by belittling your achievements. And let's not forget the backstabber, the one who smiles in your face but throws you under the bus when you're not looking. Each of these characters has their own unique style of humiliation. But don't worry, identifying them is half the battle won. Once you've identified the villain in your story, it's time to prepare for battle. Onwards to the next step. Ah, confrontation. A word that sends shivers down the spine of the meek. But fear not, for we have a secret weapon, tact. Now, when dealing with a humiliator, you must remember one essential thing, the importance of keeping your cool. It's like being a swan on a lake, all graceful on the surface, while pedaling like mad underneath. This calm exterior is your shield, your armor against the jibes and jeers. Now let's talk about the art of the witty comeback. It's a delicate dance, a blend of a quick mind, a sharp tongue, and the right amount of sass. You don't want to stoop to their level, but a well-placed retort can make the difference between being a doormat and being the one who gets the last laugh. Picture this, if you will. Our friend, the humiliator, makes a snide comment about your fashion sense. You, unruffled, respond with a smile. Well, at least I have a sense of fashion. Zing. You've just turned the tables with a dash of humor and a sprinkle of wit. Remember, your aim isn't to humiliate them in return, but to diffuse the situation with grace and style. Your words are your weapons, so use them wisely. With your words as your weapon, you're ready to take on any humiliator. But what happens when the confrontation is over? What's the next step? Well, you're about to find out. The dust has settled, the crowd disperses, and you're left standing victorious. But what now? Well, my dear friends, it's time to learn the art of dealing with the aftermath. You've managed to navigate the stormy waters of humiliation and come out the other side, but what do you do with the calm that follows? First things first, it's crucial to remember not to hold grudges. Yes, you've been wronged, but holding on to that anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to drop dead. It's not going to happen, and you'll only harm yourself in the process, so let it go. Easier said than done, I know, but trust me, it's the healthiest thing to do. Now, after a confrontation, the air can get a bit heavy. What's the best way to lighten it? Humor, of course. A well-placed joke or a funny comment can do wonders to ease the tension. Remember, laughter is the best medicine. Not to mention, it's a lot more fun than sulking. And finally, it's time to move on. Don't let this incident define you or your relationships. Learn from it, grow from it, and then leave it in the past where it belongs. And there you have it, the step-by-step guide to dealing with humiliation. Remember, the best revenge is living well, but a well-placed zinger doesn't hurt either.